Special thanks to the people at Fandango for hooking me up with a promo code for a free movie ticket to Migration. Ducks. They were everywhere in the 90s. And I literally mean everywhere. You couldn't go a single place in the late 80s and early 90s without there being a duck TV show, a duck movie, a duck poster, a duck related byproduct, uh, a duck comic. Everything was just ducks. Don't know why, but for a little while, in, like I say, specifically that transitional period from like the late 80s to early 90s was just ducks, ducks, and more importantly, ducks. So, needless to say, as a millennial that grew up in the early 90s and didn't understand why, as a child, the general consensus of the human population had a very strange and rather unusual hyperfixation with ducks. But sure, we'll go with it. Why the hell not? I guess it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But sure, screw it, whatever. So why I'm giving you this history lesson is because after a while, the late 90s, early 2000s showed up. You saw a lot less ducks in social media. Or just, not even social media, but just in the media in general. And when I say the concept of social media, I mean TV shows, movies, newspapers, comics, all that. And when actual internet social media rose, you still didn't see a lot of duck related things for a while. It actually took until probably, I'm going to say the late, 2010s, 2015s era, you started seeing duck related things. So, I could be wrong on that. But the point is, just for a weird while, we just had a sort of a duck phase going on. And society just collectively said, yeah, we don't need to see a therapist about all this, or we don't need to see a guidance counselor or expert on this. Nah, just ducks. Just whatever. It's fine. Society is very clearly normal to this day, aren't they, folks? Regardless, I went and saw the Illumination movie, Migration. I saw this a while back, and this wasn't really on my radar, so to speak. It was just more like, oh, hey, that looks like fun for like the kids and the family, and I mean, it's good to see the Illumination do something different other than the Yellow Devils. So I was like, I'm willing to give this maybe a shot if I've got the cash lying around, or maybe I'll rent it or something. But then the fine people at Fandango were kind enough to get a hold of me with a promotion that they were doing for the movie. Be like, hey, why don't you take $7 off a movie ticket, essentially making it for free. Well, here's a free movie ticket. Go see Migration. I'm like, yeah, okay, why not? Something different other than the yellow that foresaw our inevitable demise. So what is Migration? Well, Migration is very much how I would describe as an early Saturday morning cartoon special, like one of those made for TV movies type of thing, but with a much higher theatrical budget, if you will. Basically, it's a story about a little duckling and their family. They're out in the rivers or swamp area or just whatever. And the little duckling's like, my God, I'm so bored. Everything is boring. There's nothing to life outside of this lake and swamp, and I want to go explore the world, Mama and Papa, and I want to go see the world, and I'm such a bored little rapscallion. That's not what they actually say, but you get the cliche. And then for some reason, I guess the kid's uncle shows up after just going on migration and coming back for like to see the family and visit. And you know, the uncle in sort of an awkward way is like, "Kid, you don't know about migration? We're ducks. I I thought your dad or your mom would talk to you about this, but sure, okay." You gotta learn from your uncle. So he teaches the kid about migration, and the kid's like, "Wow, you mean we can fly south for the winter and go on wild adventures and fly and go be a duck? Wow!" And the uncle's just kind of like, yeah, sure." Or I think it's a grandpa. It's either a grandpa or an uncle. It's been a while since I saw the movie. So then the wife is like, "Oh, you know what? Going on a family vacation would be wonderful, dear." And the daughter, duckling, is like, "Yeah, that would be so much fun, yeah." The dad's all like, "Nope, nope, I ain't doing it. Nope, nope. Not getting out of this chair. No, sir." But then finally, after some convincing, the dad's like, "Yeah, okay, we'll go." And when I say that this kind of follows a beat for beat of like a Saturday morning, like made for TV movie, like cartoon special, it really does. Now, I want to say some positives though, because there are some good things to this film. There is some good slapstick. The writing itself, like in terms of like the voice actors and like what they're speaking and saying, is funny and witty and entertaining. There's some good comedy involved with a lot of the action and the scenarios they get themselves into. There is sort of a generic villain that's out to capture the ducks and, sort of be the threatening plot device, if you will, of this family road trip vacation, but with ducks. So, and, the animation quality itself is actually really smooth. Again, this is Illumination. They're mostly known for the abominations. But outside of that, it was just nice to see Illumination actually like do a new IP and do a new film and do something a little different outside of those things. And as such, I liked it. So the only thing is, and this is the only negative, it really is just kind of a Saturday morning cartoon special right down to the story. The family goes on their vacation. They go all these different destinations. They meet all these wonderful cast and crew of people. They get into some trouble along the way. The villain captures part of the family. They have to go save that part of the family member. They learn a life lesson, and they defeat the bad guy, so to speak. And they finally arrive for the treacherous journey to their, wonderful tropical beachy destination. And, they meet wonderful people and have a great time. And then they're like, "Oh, yeah, cool, that was fun. Let's go do it again." And so the movie ends with just a kind of like, let's go do it again type of thing. So I'm not really necessarily spoiling the movie per se. But if you've seen, again, a lot of Saturday morning, like early 90s cartoons where it's like a road trip episode, then you've seen this movie. So, is a movie worth seeing? Yeah. Honestly, if you want to throw it on for like your kids or for like a quick family film for like, family night or Sunday night or something, it's not bad. The animation's good. There is some funny slapstick. There is some funny jokes for the adults as well as the kids. And if you can get past the very sort of like, plot, then I think you'll enjoy it. So, Migration from Illumination. They flew south for the winter, and I had a fun trip. And so did I. And thanks, Fandango, for the free movie ticket. So, that about does it. See ya.